Keeping a journal is one of the most beneficial things I've started to implement in my life. And there are many reasons why, but I think one of the most important is that it's really forced me to become more conscious and start thinking about my actions and my behaviors. Just like any mindfulness technique you can use, like meditation, journaling, for me at least, was a way to start getting away from that like autopilot mode that we all tend to go on and become super present, not only to things that were happening in my life, but also to the people in my life. It also helped me begin to realize some of the blind spots in my life that I really wanted to work on and improve on. And to be quite honest with you, it got me through a really hard time in my life. So before we get into the purpose of this video, which is how journaling pretty much changed my life, I just wanted to welcome those of you who are new. My name is Bridget and I am a parent and mindset coach. I also have a free Facebook group, which I'm going to leave linked down below. So if you're a parent, you're on your personal development journey, I really encourage you to come join us. It's an awesome community. We talk about things on the channel like mindset, confidence, motivation, relationships, things like that. So if any of that interests you, make sure you go check it out. Don't forget to like this video if you found it useful, comment below what you want to see more from me, and subscribe if you are not already subscribed. So let's get into the video. I think what keeps people from journaling consistently, or even to start journaling at all, is the fact that journaling tends to be misidentified. Meaning, I think when we think of journaling, we think of boredom, waste of time, or weird. Being weird, right? And that's how I used to see journaling too. I always thought journaling was for really introverted people who were kind of nerdy or not very sociable, and that was what I was pretty much running away from my entire life. But there was a point in my life where I was kind of going through like a mini identity crisis, a life crisis. And I talked about this in last week's video, so I'm going to link that up here. This whole story will make a lot more sense if you go watch that video. But there was a time in my life where I was really struggling. I was really confused about what direction I was heading in. And it happened in like my late teen years. So I think this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I was very confused about what career I was heading in, my relationships, my partners, my family. Everything just seemed confusing. And I was also going through a lot of grief and trauma related to family. And so I felt this urge to simply write. I don't know what it was, but I felt like I needed to write everything down. Every single memory that I can remember up from my childhood. And I started at the beginning. I started with my parents and how I was as a child and how my sisters were as a child, and specific memories and painful events that had kind of led me into, who I was as a person from that day. It was about like a 2-week period where I went full on hermit mode. At first there were a lot of things that came up, a lot of emotions, a lot of thoughts and feelings, and a lot of memories that I didn't even know I remembered. It all just kind of came up, things that I was probably pushing down for a really long time. There were points where I got super emotional. There were points where I was genuinely confused, points where I was angry and had to get up and walk away from writing, points where I got super happy, points where I got super resentful about certain people in my life. And at the end of the process, where I felt like I was done, I felt like I could walk away and I was content with everything that I'd written, I felt this feeling of liberation from it. And from that point onward, at least for the first 2 years, I'd say, I started implementing this journaling process nightly, probably once or twice a week. And so I did that for 2 years. And as I got deeper into my personal development journey, after I started reading more and writing more and thinking about myself more and, the people around me, the people I surrounded myself with, and really what my future held, it became more consistent and more defined. And so I'll get into that in a minute. But as I started to implement this process more consistently, I started noticing a lot more clarity in my life in terms of my relationships and also myself and where I wanted to be as a person. When I first started journaling, it was about getting clear and working through trauma and healing and trying to understand myself more as a person. Because like I said, I was kind of going through this weird identity crisis and I didn't really know who I was. So I was trying to figure that out. It became this investigation for me. And then I got into that period where it became more consistent. It was about once or twice a week. I started to write about things that were going on throughout the day, certain situations that I thought I could have been better in, right? Because I was working more on my socialness and trying to run away from that introverted identity. I started to write about things that were going on with my partner, things that were going on with my friends and my family. And it wasn't just about things that happened during the day, which is what I think a lot of people think journaling is. It was about why did I react a specific way to a situation? What triggered me into feeling this feeling? Why was I so stressed today or this week? I started getting really introspective and started asking myself questions during the process. It wasn't just about the facts of the day. It was about what made those facts and how can I improve as a person going forward. And so this process, this routine of my journaling process, this continued for a couple years. And then, like I said, I got more serious. And probably for the past, I'd say year and a half, I've kind of changed my whole process because I want to make it as simple as possible. It started out as an investigation and it kind of morphed into me being more introspective as a person. And now it's deliberate because I'm trying to get something accomplished, right? I have a goal. I know the benefits of journaling, but now I actually want it to take me to a certain place. And so now the journaling process is very simple. It's 3 categories. And it takes me about 5 to 10 minutes to complete, depending on the day, depending upon how much I have going on. And I start out by writing everything that is stressing me out that day. Right? It could be super simple or it could be very complex. So this will usually be about like 5, maybe 10 bullet points. I don't know, some days I'm stressed more than others, so it looks very different every day. And sometimes even for like 3 weeks straight, those bullet points might be exactly the same. But it doesn't matter, I'm releasing them. Right? So I release all my stressful things. Then I get into the things that went well. Right? So things that are going well in my life. It could have been what went well yesterday, or it could have been what's been going well for months or weeks. And then the third category is what I'm grateful for, which I found to be probably one of the most important aspects of these 3 categories. Because bringing in being grateful into my life has shown me what to look for, and it has shown me how to be more empathetic and kinder to myself and more loving to myself and to other people around me. And the more I can express that gratitude, the more that I see that comes back into my life. And so that one is really important. So it's those 3 categories and it takes me less than 10 minutes to do, which is why I love doing it and which is why I think it's easier to be more consistent about. And that's really what my journey with journaling has been. It's been confusing and it's been a long road to finally figuring out what it can do for me, because it started out as something very emotional and sentimental, and it's kind of evolved into this more practical and useful tool that I'm trying to implement in order to work through the future. it's a really special thing for me, I think, because it got me through so many challenging times in my life, and it continues to do so. So I've always been a huge advocate for journaling, and I know I've probably already gone through all the benefits, but that's just how it benefited me. But I know there are so many benefits to journaling. That's why therapists will recommend journaling, right? In trying to improve yourself and work through hard times, right? It decreases anxiety and stress and depression. It helps you be more conscious of your thoughts and behaviors and work on goals and work on better positive self-talk for ourselves. So there are just so many different aspects and things you can implement it for, which is why I think it's so useful and why I think everyone should be journaling. But again, it's really about what works for you. I prefer this method because I'm super introverted, but everybody's different. So everybody's method to getting honest and vulnerable and trying to heal and improve yourself is going to be very different. But I just wanted to share this with you guys because this has been such a powerful tool for me, and I know so many other people that this has worked for. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Before in today's video, I just wanted to quickly mention that I do have a free consult. So if you are a parent and you're on your personal development journey, want to be more confident, have better relationships, work on that mindset, make sure you check out that link. You'll get a chance to chat with me, talk about what you're struggling with, see how I can help, and we'll take it from there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you found this video was useful and helpful as always, and I will see you next time.